everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name's Daniela, but you can call me Danny. Just Danny. I have been gone for a very long time. It was exam season. Let's not talk about it anymore and let's just jump straight into this video. So for today, I am going to be rating Otome Isekai manhwas that I've read during like the last few months, maybe a year. And without further ado, let's jump into it. So the first manhwa that I want to talk about is this thing called Angelic Lady. I'm putting it in A tier and not S. It would have been in S tier if she continued being cool, like how she was when the revenge was starting. But I feel like she got like lamer, like as the story went on, and I don't know. I just expected so much more from it, and I didn't get that. So that's where it's going. Next up we have is The Lady and the Beast, if I'm not mistaken. This one's pretty cool. But right now I'm lacking story. I don't know, I can't relate to the characters, right? Or I can't empathize with the characters. Sometimes when you're reading something, you kind of want to be like, oh yeah, it's cool, or like, oh yeah, I relate to that. This one, I don't relate at all. I mean, she wasn't exactly mistreated, you know? I mean, she had like loving parents. She was doing great in school. I don't remember her past exactly. It's been a while since I read this one. But her current life is not that bad. But she's still like cynical about everything. She's still a bit of a kudere, is the better term. But it is genuinely funny, and I do love it because of that. Also, she's a badass. But because I couldn't sympathize or empathize with the character, I am putting it in A tier. However, I would recommend reading this one just for laughs because it's really entertaining. It's really funny. Especially when she started. I don't know. This might be a spoiler, but it got really funny when she started, like training the Duke. Is he the Duke? I don't know. The male lead, whatever. It got really funny. Next up, we have Beware the Villainess. Okay, you know what? I'm putting this in S tier. Because there's nothing wrong with it. It's just there wasn't even like that heavy of a drama. Also, it was kind of like a good story premise where she is the main character. She is in this one, but in the original before she became like self-aware, she was the villainess. So but this one had a bit of a twist that I really liked, and I really like how Malasa, that's the name of the main character, was super badass, and she was super cool, and she was just like super strong even though she had no power, and she just had strength. That's the thing that she had, like, to keep her going. She also wasn't very smart, like, you know how most main character would be like either super strong, super smart, or something like that. She's average. She's just like, her willpower is just really like up there, right? That's why she's going there. If we were rating this based on like the character, she definitely deserves that, but I feel like she should be in A, but I'm putting it in S just because I really enjoyed it. Also, this one is completed, so if you want to go ahead and check it out, and if you're not a big fan of waiting for updates, then you definitely want to read this one. Next up is like Lady Chef, I think. Royal Chef, Lady Royal Chef. I forgot the titles of this one. Right here, whatever. This one started great, honestly. When the story was still starting out, the character was very chill, I would say. Like, she's smart. She's incredibly smart, and she can think for herself. But then, like, season 1 ended, and then season 2 started, and I think the people who were making the manhwa changed because the art style changed, the characters changed. Not like the characters themselves, like from Jillian to Margaret. No, it was still the same character. It's just that the personality of the characters changed drastically. And honestly, this would receive like an A tier or an S tier even if they kept the original like maker of the manhwa, but the art style changed, the story changed, the characters changed, and there's just too many changes that were not good that happened to this manhwa. But I'm still giving it a chance. I'm still reading it. It is still ongoing. Hopefully it gets better, but honestly, she turned Like the main character went from like super cool, analytical, kind of person to just a happy-go-lucky person that kind of got lucky in life. Is that's how I would say it. Then there's this one. I think this one's called like "Am I a Child of This House" or something like that, and I am putting this in trash. No, D. Yeah. Honestly, I had high hopes for this one. I thought it would be a good one because the art is good. I mean, like the main character is not the type that I would like. Honestly, this would deserve B if she didn't end up with that guy. All right, spoiler alert: she ends up with an older guy, and I'm uncomfortable with that. She was 12 when they first met, and he was already an adult by that time. And I get it that they like spend time together or something like that, but honestly, it's a bit awkward and weird and stuff. And so I don't like it. I'd give it an F if I didn't enjoy it at the start, honestly. Next up we have is All Cheating Men Must Die. Yeah. Um Honestly, for this one, it's like a compilation of stories but also not, because like the main character stays the same. So this is the premise of the story. So we have I don't know how to pronounce her name. Lucia? Let's just say Lucia. Let's just say that, okay? So Lucia is kind of like a part of a system that controls stories by being in them, right? So she gets transported or transmigrated into a story so she can fix the story. Sometimes something wrong happens when either the male lead becomes like such a bastard that he just starts cheating and just ruins the girl's life. So the main character, Lucia, has to come in and fix whatever happened and, you know, give the main girl a happy life or something like that. And it's just a compilation of all those stories, but I'm thinking after 300 chapters, they're finally giving Lucia like her own actual background story, or backstory actually, because like they've been like giving us snippets of what might happen or what might have happened in the past. So I'm very interested, and the art style is amazing. Pretty much, it's pretty good. She's pretty. She's smart. They do give her like a bit of a problem with certain things, but you can be rest assured that by the end of the chapter, or by the end of like the story, she is going to have a happy ending and she ends up winning all the time. But sometimes something just happens, you know, just to give it a little like spice into there, but it's always going to be a happy ending, which I think is a very good thing. Next one is like Dr. Elise. Honestly, this one started off really good. She is a Korean doctor that died in a plane crash, if I remember correctly, and then she got like transmigrated back into her old life, actually. So she has like three lives, right? So she was Elise in her old life, and then she became a Korean doctor, and then she died again, and she went back to like the past, which is like Elise. So she already knew what was going to happen during that time because she's been there before. And honestly, it started off pretty cool. She was very smart, but then it like went into like the romance direction. Like it went too much into that, and I feel like her individuality as a person and like independent woman kind of image thingy just disappeared when she started being too into romance. But I don't know, you might be into that. I'm not personally, but I'm giving it a B because honestly it was pretty good, and if you're really into romance, then I'm pretty sure you would enjoy this. I do not. But yeah, pretty good. Check it out. Not finished though. Next up, the Monstrous Duke's adopted daughter. So technically the Duke here is the lady. So this is like, okay, I'm giving this an S tier. So far, so good. Not yet finished, and like I stopped reading after like the last 3 chapter updates, so I have not read like 3 chapters. But so far so good. I think they had like a season break, you know, season 1, and then it ends, and then they have like a very, very long break. But so far so good. So what I find very, very unique about this one is that the Duke is actually a woman. And in most of the stories, the Duke would be a man, and she would be adopted by a dad, like a single dad. That's always like the premise for a lot of this. Like when there's like the word adopted, or when it's like a family thing, usually the dad would be the one that's making a lot of the decisions, or the dad would be the only one there. But in this one, the mom, the Duke that adopted her, is actually like the matriarch, yeah, right? Everybody is afraid of her. Well, not afraid. Everybody respects her. And like like she has a very high position in the empire or kingdom or whatever. And also like the main character, I feel like she's not yet strong because it's still starting off, right? But she has the capability to be strong. Also, she has a bunny, and I'm a weak bitch to bunnies. I really like bunnies, and she has like a stuffed bunny that was like a part of her past or something like that. So I really enjoyed this one, and I can't wait to read more. I probably should get back to it. But the thing is, when I read something, I reread it, and then continue where I left off. Next up we have is this one. The Daily Diary of Fiance. I forgot the title. But in this one, we are actually like, it may seem like the point of view is in the girl's point of view, which is the main character, Tia. But we actually see the point of view of the guy a lot. And usually like these stories would have like an idiot character, and we see everything through her perspective. But we see her being an idiot in somebody else's perspective, somebody who loves her so much, and she has like, this is like Hamifura, but not as famous. But it's very cool. I like the story. The characters are very interesting, and it has like a twist that I really enjoy. That I'm not gonna tell you because I want you to read this. I need you to read this. If there's anything that I would like recommend, this is one of the things that I definitely want people to read. Next up we have is I Favor the Villainous. So this one is Girls Love. It's Yuri. So far nothing's happened. Like nothing interesting has been happening. We have the usual Odo-sama blonde girl who's like a very much a tsundere, and then you have like brown haired girl that's like dere dere but also secretly smart. It's just your common thing, common trope. I put it in A because it's very rare to find GL in Otome Isekai. It's just all you find are like straight stuff. So it needs recognition, okay? I need more of these. I want more, whatchamacallit, diversity in the Otome Isekai fandom, okay? I get it, you all like very hot, handsome DILFs, main characters who are very much toxic, but I would like something different, please. Thank you. Next up we have is I'm only a stepmother, but my daughter is just so cute. Honestly, this one's just meh. It's not bad, but it's also not good. So far, uninteresting. The premise of this one is that the main girl, gets reincarnated into this story. Because I think she died because she was working too hard. And she's supposed to hate her stepdaughter, but the stepdaughter is just too cute and she just wants to make clothes for the stepdaughter. And because she became like a different person, the male lead starts falling for her, usual bad kind of stuff. So, not bad, but I don't like that much. Okay. And then this one, I Shall Kill That Sweet Devil, giving this S tier. I'm currently rereading it because season 2 finally started after so long. I've been waiting. The art is beautiful, the story absolutely fantastic. It just keeps me on the edge of my seat. Also, I can actually sympathize with the character. And I actually genuinely hate the villain. Like sometimes there's a villain and you're kind of like, I guess they're evil. Yeah, sure. Because sometimes the evil people in the stories are the main characters in the last life. But in this one, nah. He was like the villain from the get-go. And I just can't wait for him to get what he deserves. Even more of what he deserves, I feel like, I'm so excited for this one. Okay, so we have just finished 12 of the manhwas. Like, we've just finished rating 12 of the manhwas. And there's still 12 more because there's 24. And I'm gonna have to cut this video into 2 parts because I don't want it to get too long. So I'll see you guys in the next video, or I'll see you guys in the next part. Bye!